Welcome to the Alloy installation video. Alloy is installed in 7 simple steps: wall preparation, measuring, cutting, dry fitting, adhesive application, fitting and sealing. In this video we're going to be covering the installation of a standard hob splashback and a wide full length splashback. Before you begin, you must ensure all electrics have been disconnected as a safety measure. This should be performed by a qualified electrician. Alloy can be installed over existing splashbacks, glass hob panels and tiles, but if you don't fancy that, just make sure the wall is prepped by being flat, clean and debris free. It's also personal preference on whether you remove existing upstands or not, but if you choose to keep the existing upstand, which we've opted for in this video, ensure you remove existing sealant first. Once this is done, check for imperfections in the wall, run your hand over to feel for bumps, dust, debris, etc. Then use a scraper to clear away anything untoward before a sanding block to smooth anything away. Once sanded, it's important to brush off any dust, as this will cause issues if left when the adhesive is applied. For the installation of alloy panels, we recommend using the following tools: a craft knife, tape measure, alcohol wipes, pen, a square, spacers, sanding pads, masking tape, adhesive and sealant, mastic gun, plunge saw, drill, jigsaw and of course the guide rail. Refer to hob manufacturer's guidance on safe distance for install. Here we're demonstrating the hob splashback being installed over the existing hob glass panel. Firstly, make sure it is clean. We recommend using an alcohol wipe. The hob panels have been created to be standard hob sizes, so should fit, but if it doesn't, like in this video, we need to trim a little bit of the panel away. Place the panel flat on your cutting surface. We recommend a few trestles and a board for stability / cutting. Next, we're in the measure twice cut once zone. Measure the opening where the hob panel needs to sit. Then head over to the panel and mark this measurement at the top, middle and bottom. Then of course, double check your measurements. Please be mindful that PPE is a must, such as protective glasses when sawing down the panel. Using your plunge saw and guide rail, trim away the amount required, taking the sharpness off the edge by deburring using a sanding block. Then, to ensure there is no debris / dirt or dust, we recommend wiping again and cleaning away after with a microfiber cloth. Taking a few extra moments now can save hours down the line. Remove the backing of the Alloy Splashback panel, remarking the top just so you don't get turned around and the orientation remains the same. Place the panel in position, ensuring the amount trimmed away is enough and the panel fits as intended. Then mark 40mm around the perimeter, as all adhesive needs to sit inside this zone. Next up is the trims. These are 100% optional and offer no function other than aesthetic finish. For the trims, you need to measure the length of your splashback and measure the trim. Clamp the trim in position so it doesn't move around. Then using a handsaw, simply cut through the trim to the desired length. Chop saws with metal cutting blades can also be used. Once the trims have been cut, you can create a miter join using an angled block. Once again, ensure the trim is clamped prior to cutting. It's very important that prior to sticking the trims into position that you double check the fit under the hood of the hob. To check this, place the splashback in position with the trim attached. If it doesn't fit, you have 2 options available. Take a sliver off the bottom of the splashback or cut the trims down so they fit and butt up to the hood. When doing the dry fit, it is important to place the spacers underneath, ensuring they fit as well. Once everything lines up perfectly for your panel, remove the tape from the trim and reveal the adhesive, and simply stick it into position. When applying the adhesive, cut a 5mm hole in the nozzle and apply a reasonable covering in a zigzag pattern. Once the adhesive is applied, push the splashback into position firmly, ensuring all areas are pressed in. Moving on to the other wall, we have a wide splashback to cut down. So once again, measure the area, mark the panel, as before, double check all measurements, cut down the panel using the guide rail and plunge saw. On this install, we have a recess under the cupboard, which we will be feeding some of the splashback into. Make measurements and markings before cutting. To create a corner cut, firstly you need to use a drill where the corner join would be. Then use the plunge saw and cut close to the hole but not all the way through. Due to the circular blade, if you cut right up until the hole, you will cut too far. This is why you leave the last few millimeters and use the jigsaw to finish it off. Place in position and see how everything aligns. We need a good fit at this stage, again with enough room for spacers at the bottom. If everything fits, great, on to the next part. If not, work out where you need to shave off and make the minor adjustments. Measure any sockets that need to be cut out, marking up on the panel as you go. Once marked, double check all measurements, drill each corner of the socket area, then cut in between each hole using a jigsaw. When it comes to drilling through the panel, you can drill from either side, through the back or the decorative face. Once everything is cut, aligned and you are happy it fits, it's time to mark 40mm in from the edge. Then once again, apply adhesive in a zigzag pattern in a 5mm bead. Push the panel into its final position. Apply pressure across the entire panel, ensuring it fits tightly to the wall. Insert spacers to avoid the panel slipping into the sealant gap. The panel takes approximately 2 to 3 hours to adhere, so leave the spacers in for this amount of time. Then it's time for the sealant. Apply a thin bead of sealant and smooth out. Allow for it to cure and your install is complete. Return any sockets to the wall and get the electrician to reactivate the power. And that's your install. We hope you've managed to guide you through to a better kitchen. Thanks for watching and thanks for choosing Alloy.